player in the inside the Hawthorns ground takes the knee, and now the game is underway. And it was played very, very quickly back to Bartley. They were lopsided actually from kick-off towards this near side, the main stand on the right for West Bromwich Albion in their striped white and navy shirts, playing from left to right as we look against Liverpool, who in all red, here on BBC Radio 5 Live and the World Service. And you look at Liverpool's record; they have struggled against sides who are the relegated three this season in the Premier League. They've taken just 8 points from 5 games against West Bromwich Albion, Fulham and Sheffield United. Bartley at the back to Ajayi, out to this near side, finds Furlong. With Ajayi once again, hits it early, offside against Robson-Kanu. Must have been a very frustrating season for Hal Robson-Kanu. All 16 appearances until today as a substitute in the Premier League.
Yeah, it's been a tough one for him, watching on the sidelines and watching what he probably feels was a project that he could affect. And when you're not playing as a player, you just get that itch, that frustration. And when your team's not winning, 5 wins all season, you suddenly go, give me a chance. This isn't working. Let me have a go. Let it not work for me.
Rhys Williams with the back pass to Allison. They work it out to Robertson on the near side. Closed down by Phillips, who you might well have heard earlier in the afternoon on 5 Live Sport when he was speaking to Steve and talking about his frustrations for the season. He knows all about relegation. 4 times he's been relegated in his career now. Twice, of course, with West Bromwich Albion, but Queen's Park Rangers and Blackpool before that. So the good thing is, from a West Bromwich Albion point of view, is that when they have been relegated, as the ball is hit long and it actually reaches Robertson, plays it in early, cut out, and then Gallagher coming under pressure on the edge of the area, shot driven in by Thiago, takes a deflection, and it's a corner kick for Liverpool, all of West Brom's own making.
It's just the opportunity to clear it. Just take the opportunity, get it away from goal. Sam Allardyce will be raging with that. They had the chance, playing out from the back against this Liverpool team who press. They're going to press. Get it away from the goal.
Corner kick on that far side. Alexander-Arnold to take it on the right. There was an outswinger and turned behind for another corner kick on this occasion. Didn't beat the first man, but West Bromwich Albion were unable to get it away. It was on Furlong's right foot rather than his left, so he just couldn't hook it away downfield. In comes that successive corner, another outswinger headed away by Bartley. Jones directs the header back out towards the right. Alexander-Arnold swings over the other cross, and Phillips is up, and Phillips heads it over the top. Might have just taken a blow there. Mike Dean very quick to check on the young defender, but he's all right. It's a goal kick. I was just going to say though, so it's the 5th relegation from the Premier League for West Bromwich Albion, which is the joint most, along with your former club, Rob, Norwich City. But in each of the 4 previous relegations for West Bromwich Albion, they've come back within 2 seasons.
Yeah, and you look at how they did it last time. They had to shed a lot of players. They had to get older players off the books going into the Championship, where you need that mobility. You need to get about the pitch. They didn't have that. And the argument was, you're saying you came back a season too early, maybe the squad hadn't developed enough. Well, I'll tell you what, they're in a better position now, as I was saying, than they were a few years ago when they went down.
Yeah, contrast that to Sheffield United. Their 2 previous relegations from the Premier League, it's taken them 12 years on each occasion to come back to the top flight, as Fabinho drills the ball downfield, right down the middle of the pitch, and all the way through to Sam Johnston, the West Bromwich Albion goalkeeper, who brings it out of his area and hits it long up towards Phillips, but Rhys Williams won that aerial duel. Robertson downfield, cushion ball forward by Ajayi. Gallagher to Furlong, hits it early. Phillips, flag has stayed down for the time being. Phillips with a cross, and that was Matt Phillips, cleared by Nathaniel Phillips. And Jones caught by Gallagher. Free kick to Liverpool just outside his own penalty area, and it's 0-0 in the early stages. 5 minutes played.
West Brom are committing bodies forward. They're playing a 4-4-2 when they're when they're in the defensive shape, but they've got Matt Phillips down the right. He's been playing central of recent weeks, but he's out there on the right, and when Robertson does go forward, he's staying up front, he's taking a chance, and they're hitting him early.
Firmino looking for the ball over the top. Salah putting pressure on Kyle Bartley, who, with the Egyptian breathing down his neck, had to concede the corner kick, and it's a third corner already inside 5 minutes for Liverpool, all over on that far side. So 0-0, and Andrew Robertson is going across to take it. So this should be an in-swinging corner from the Liverpool right, as they play from right to left here inside the Hawthorns. In it comes now from Robertson, and Phillips was up once again, Nathaniel Phillips, and it was a header off target. He threw himself at it, just couldn't get the right connection.
That's a great ball in, fantastic ball, just at the near post, 6 yards out, and Kyle Bartley stood on the 6 yard line, zonal marking, freed him to go and tack the ball, the biggest player in this West Brom team, and it's that quick, it's that flat, he can't get there, so it's a chance.
24-year-old who, along with Reece Williams, has done well of late. Had recovered well with that misfortune for the own goal at Old Trafford, and played his part in the goal for Jota. But it was that foot injury picked up at Old Trafford that means that Jota doesn't feature today, or indeed will not play any part in the games against Burnley away on Wednesday and Crystal Palace at home on Sunday. 5 Live Sport, 6.5 minutes played. Goalless at the Hawthorns, West Bromwich Albion and Liverpool. Furlong level with a penalty area in front of the main stand near side the right with a looping throw. Ajayi was the target, headed away by Firmino. Gallagher running away from goal, coming under pressure from Thiago. Alexander-Arnold now takes it on. If he keeps the ball in play, it could be promising, and he has done exactly that. Alexander-Arnold still going, but in the end it was Yokoshlu who just came across to take it away from Alexander-Arnold. He did well to keep the ball in the first place.
Yeah, did very well, and showed his attacking acumen there and his attributes of getting forward. You look at the two fullbacks for Liverpool, and you know, they'd be at home on the wings, wouldn't they, really? And you're looking at it, and essentially that's how they play, that's what they are. They are wingers and do defend occasionally at times, and you look at the Liverpool weakness, and the two young lads at the back, they do become exposed from that. But what they bring them, wow, the goals that they've brought them over the years is incredible.
That's Rob Green with us here at the Hawthorns. We're in the 8th minute. Liverpool are in possession. Nathaniel Phillips striding his way towards the halfway line. It's a right-footed ball that Furlong tucked in, the right back clears. Williams finds Robertson, brings it down off the chest. The ball is still, and then it's hit it in field, left-footed to Thiago. A lot of room around Thiago, and his socks already down, slipping towards his ankles. Strokes it forward towards Salah, gets it back, edging his way forward, and now leaves it for Alexander-Arnold. Plays the ball forward along the ground to Firmino, nudges it back to Fabinho, out towards Salah, bit of space. Salah then with the cross, and it's caught by Johnston, the West Bromwich Albion goalkeeper. We're in one of these positions here at the Hawthorns, and I've not actually been to this ground during the pandemic, and of course behind closed doors. And sometimes, such as Newcastle and Brighton, you can be very low down and within earshot of the dugouts. We're actually above the dugouts there, but because of the headphones, I want to take my headphones off and just listen to the orders that are being barked out by either Jurgen Klopp or Sammy Lee, the former Liverpool player, of course, who just comes to the edge of the West Bromwich Albion technical area, because that's been one of the rare insights that you can get, and one of the few benefits of probably one of the only benefits of no supporters. You can actually hear what's being relayed from the benches.
I'm just pleased you're out of arm's reach of the managers, Dana.
In comes the cross for the free kick, and Ajayi was up, but it was a very faint touch off his head, and it runs out for a goal kick.
Made a good run. Liverpool line was strong, held a high line, and the bonus of that is, even if the West Brom player does win the header, you're having to head it in from 12, 13 yards out, and you've got Alisson in goal. You're going to back your goalkeeper to save it.
Don't worry, within 2 minutes, either Sam Allardyce or Jurgen Klopp would have quickly switched off. It's not even 2 minutes with the wife. She switches off after 60 seconds. 10 minutes played, 0-0, 5 Live Sport. West Bromwich Albion against Liverpool. Crystal Palace 3, Aston Villa 2, Tottenham 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. The two earlier results. Everton Sheffield United from 7 will be on 5 Live Sports Extra at Goodison Park, because at 7:45 we have the Women's Champions League final, Chelsea against Barcelona, on 5 Live Sport. Free kick going in favour of the home side for a foul on Diangana, who'd been doubled up there with Alexander-Arnold and Thiago. So it's another opportunity for Yokoshlu to come forward, and Shemi Ajayi, and also Kyle Bartley.
He was fortunate there. Diangana had lost the ball, and Trent Alexander-Arnold had won it cleanly and took a tumble in the process, and Mike Dean, not sure he made the right decision there.
Gallagher runs over the ball. It comes in from Pereira. Little flick there by Furlong. Gets a second chance. Stands over the cross. Flags up anyway. Header was wide at the far post, but the flag was raised, and it wouldn't have counted. But there was certainly concern at the time, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was a poorly taken initial free kick, and Darnell Furlong did a good job by just taking a chance and running beyond the line, the Liverpool line. He's actually got the ball back, and when he turned it back in again, a bit of a chance there for Ajayi, but Liverpool have got their own tall players. Would have been a tough one.
Playing out from the back, taking the goal kick short. A couple of touches for the two central defenders who split. They're either side of the penalty area. Then Alisson hits a flat ball that's headed away by the left back Townsend. Played forward by Diangana. Breaks now to Mane. Hits it first time. Salah with a run. Darren Canner's the assistant referee on that far side, but it was always going away from him. And of course, with the rain that is probably, no, it's still falling very, very faintly, but it's always going to just zip away off the greasy surface as a result of the wet conditions. As there was a push there on Reece Williams by Robson Kanu, and that will be a free kick to Liverpool. 12 minutes played. What have you made of it so far, Rob?
Yeah, it's been a bright start by West Brom. Been impressed that you feel that, you know, those through balls from Liverpool, those balls over the top, will cause damage to this this West Brom side, and the runs are there from the Liverpool front line. So when they get one right, it could cost them. But when you're on the pitch here at the Hawthorns, it feels so tight, and there's so little space in the centre of the pitch that the inclination is to hit those passes early, because you just don't feel like you can keep the ball as well.
That's Rob Green, who is with us, watching on, and also a position that, of course, he knows so well as a goalkeeper. We've just seen Johnston hit a ball straight out of play over the head of Furlong. Wasn't much pressure on him then for that, was there?
Told you the pitch was tight.
Robertson gets it back from Firmino, who gives the ball away. Here is Pereira. Challenge comes in from Fabinho, right in front of the watching on Jurgen Klopp, and that will be a free kick to West Bromwich Albion. 13 in the minutes played here, and Pereira goes down the line. Phillips quickly closed down by Jones, turns back to Pereira, scoops it. Nice little touch off the right thigh by Matt Phillips. Jones is still with him. Matt Phillips, though, delivers the cross, plucked out of the air by Alisson. Again, look at Shemi Ajayi, who was forward. At every opportunity, he's trying to get on the end of those crosses.
Yeah, they're gambling. Centre halves of going forwards at times, and leaving the fullbacks 2v2, because it's an interesting tactic, because Firmino likes to drop. I mean, it's a big risk, because you've got Mane and Salah, two flying machines on the outside, but they're backing the fullbacks to do a job and allowing bodies to go forward.
But you wouldn't expect at that point, would you, for a normal attack down the right-hand side, for one of your central defenders to be up at that point?
14 minutes into a game at 0-0 against Liverpool. No.
It's going to be a free kick, which Johnston is going to take for West Bromwich Albion. Still goalless here at the Hawthorns, and quite a high line that Liverpool have provided. It's hit now by Johnston. Again, Ajayi is the target. Fabinho will head it away. Salah tries to direct that header down into the path of Curtis Jones. Little flick there by Ajayi, helped on then. And here is Robson-Kanu in the penalty area, and Hal Robson-Kanu has scored, and West Bromwich Albion take the lead. It's his first Premier League start of the season, and he has scored his first goal in the Premier League after a run of 28 games without since, well, 4 years ago, would you believe. West Bromwich Albion lead 1-0.
Well, this could be a huge goal in the context for the Champions League, the race for the top four. And Robson-Kanu, he picks up the space between the left centre-half and Robertson, a left-back. And it's just a run in behind. And he's got the work to do. Takes a great touch out of his feet, and he allows him to open up onto his left foot, his favoured foot. You can see what he's trying to do. Everybody can see what he wants to do on the angle. He's just bend it in that far corner, feel it in, and it's so composed, and it's such a textbook finish. It's brilliant. I mean, for a man who hasn't started a game all season, it's like he's been doing it all his life almost.
Yeah, he's had a very frustrating time. He's scored 3 goals in the early stages of the season, but they were all in the League Cup. But his last Premier League start against Arsenal, December 2017. But his last goal in the Premier League was November 2017 against Newcastle United. So that run of 28 games without, but he took it so well, did Robson-Kanu. And as you say, it certainly means it's very interesting in the race for the top four, as Liverpool have fallen behind, trailing by 1-0. However, Manchester United on Thursday night was the 5th time in the Premier League this season when Liverpool have come from behind to win after conceding the first goal. So Jurgen Klopp will hope that his side are able to do that here today. Otherwise, they will surrender much valuable ground to Leicester and Chelsea.
We talked earlier about them committing bodies forward, and they really have had to in recent weeks when they've had to win games. Sam Allardyce has sort of thrown the tactics that he's known for out the window and said, we've got to go for it. And that goal stems from them committing bodies forward, because it really did occupy defenders, it occupied the defenders around them. They didn't want to commit, but in the end had to.
But also, and it was something that we'd highlighted in commentary, it came from Semi Ajayi getting forward. It was his little flick that was passed on by Pereira to Robson-Kanu. As Liverpool forward now with Alexander-Arnold making good ground in towards Mane, and Mane losing out, just eased off the ball by Semi Ajayi, and through it goes to Johnston.
They started brightly in the week against Arsenal as well, West Brom. I know they could have stayed up that day as well, but they were in the game, and then just when they conceded first, the heads went a bit, but they're got the lead now, and you know what? You're down there, you think, why not? We're on the pitch for the next hour and a half. Let's just do it anyway. Just give it a go.
Well, it makes you wonder if they're at the hierarchy at West Bromwich Albion, if there was any regrets regarding the season, is that they didn't make the change a little earlier. You think that Slaven Bilic, 7 points from 13 games. Sam Allardyce since 19 points from 22. Took him a while to try and get to grips with it as the ball is forward towards Curtis Jones and over his head through towards Johnston. But
you're looking at it, and you in the Premier League, you say, people talk about the magic 40 points, but actually it's, if you get a point, you can draw yourself to safety.
Yeah.
And if you get a point a game around that, generally you will be safe. And Sam Allardyce, he's there or thereabouts, a bit below, but he would probably say, you give me a full season and a pre-season, I'll make up those 3 points.
Ball played out to Alexander-Arnold, seeing a lot of the ball now for Liverpool and coming forward. Nicks it out towards Salah, just inside the penalty area. Back to Alexander-Arnold once again, right corner of the area, leaves it for Salah, goes on the inside towards Curtis Jones, turns, still with the ball glued to his feet, thought about the shot off the left foot, sticks it back onto the right, outside the area. Jones gets it back, man over is Alexander-Arnold, in comes the low cross, stretching for it was Firmino, cleared away. Fabinho, well, I think he was he was being held off there by, was it Pereira? And as he's tried to get past him, he's given away a foul, and it's a free kick.
Did well there, Pereira. The ball's just in a dangerous one. Like, you're looking at it and you're thinking the ball could be recycled, and he just gets his body in the way enough. He knew he was never going to control the ball, just getting his body in the way, falling over.
So West Bromwich Albion leading by a goal to nil. 20 minutes played. Johnston downfield, comes off the outstretched leg of Reece Williams, who has gone down. Actually, he's holding his right ankle. Now back to his feet, but he's hobbling is the young central defender. Thiago takes over from a short diagonal ball from Alexander-Arnold. Curtis Jones inside the centre circle and across to Robertson. Near side the left, Liverpool playing from right to left as we look here. 20 minutes played at the Hawthorns on 5 Live in the World Service. And it's West Bromwich Albion who lead by a goal to nil. Firmino just over the halfway line. Thiago hitting the ball forward towards Salah. One bounce on through towards Sam Johnston. And at the minute, Liverpool not really threatening.
No, just looking at you, Chris Lou, he's doing a really good job in there, because Firmino wants to drop into that hole in the midfield, and he's so cute, he's so clever in that midfield, and his communication is ideal for the centre halves as well, because he's standing there going, no, I've got him, don't come out, stay as a 4, stay narrow.
Here is Firmino, forward ball, but again it zips away off the wet surface, and Johnston, with his anticipation, was outside of his penalty area to clear. Pereira coming forward. Pereira still has it, plays the ball to Furlong. Man over on this near side is Matt Phillips, the right, level with the penalty area. Matt Phillips with the cross. Alisson has to punch under pressure. Firmino waits for that ball to settle just outside the penalty area, but has lost the ball, but he helps win it back. Firmino to Fabinho, and now to Salah, and Liverpool are coming forward looking for an equaliser. Mo Salah drifting in, diagonal run off the right touchline. Thiago now takes over, rolls the ball forward, still going, plays it now towards Firmino. He's forced out wide and he won't keep that ball in play, and it goes out for a goal kick and just not clicking.
No, it is a strange decision from Mo Salah. He gets out wide where we've seen him so often, 5 yards in from the touchline, and he's up against Carl Bartley, the centre half, and you think, just go, just take a touch out your feet, push it past him and go. You've got the space, you've got the time, you've got the opportunity, and he didn't, and he waited and waited and waited, and then the opportunity went.
Earlier today, Crystal Palace beat Aston Villa 3-2. I think I'm right in saying that 5 more points from Crystal Palace in their 2 remaining games, they would, or if they were to beat 5 points, of course you're not going to get 5 points with 2 games to go, are you? I told you my maths were bad, but I rectified my mistake. But if they were to beat the 5 points, they would actually beat their points tally for Crystal Palace in the Premier League of 1993 and also 2019. And I hope that with supporters inside Selhurst Park in midweek, I don't know how many they'll actually have, but I hope that there is some sort of clarity regarding Roy Hodgson's future, because I think for the supporters there, they would give him such a terrific ovation for what he's achieved at the club in helping them establish them as a Premier League side. And that sounded a very entertaining game, and it was a big win for Palace to take them to 13th in the table. 3-2 they lead Aston Villa. Tottenham 2, Wolves 0. So Tottenham have moved above West Ham United. Imagine that there won't be a great deal of clamour to finish 7th in the Premier League and the Europa Conference League next season.
I get to see some new sights, maybe.
You certainly will, yeah. Providing, of course, you were to get past the playoff round. As Nathaniel Phillips for Liverpool out towards the far side. Liverpool were hoping that it was the Champions League rather than the Europa League, but those aspirations have been dented. A chance, though, to bring comeback level now here with Mane, and he just put it wide. Good move from Liverpool, their best of the game so far. 24 minutes played. It was Thiago who just passed it in towards Mane, and on his 200th start for the club, his first time right-footed shot was off target, and West Brom still lead by a goal to nil.
That's a big chance, and you're looking at a man of his prowess, should be hitting the target. He wants to bend it in that near post. It's a hard one because it's behind him, it's cut back to him, but skews it wide. It's a good play from Liverpool, and Thiago, who plays a little bit more advanced now that Fabinho's in it, that deep-lying midfield role. It wasn't the quickest run he's ever made, but that run off the ball was a clever one, found the space.
Here is Thiago playing the ball back. Alexander-Arnold hits it early and hits it long and high. Johnston, with his anticipation, comes out of the penalty area to head it away and heads it out towards the touchline, which is retrieved by Thiago. Over on that far side, the right, Thiago now gets it back from Firmino. 25 minutes played, and it's Liverpool who trail by 1-0 on 5 Live. And West Bromwich Albion now have got the ball, and Pereira picks it up, and the return from Robson Kanu, and Matt Phillips is trying to get on the end of it, but it was tidied up by Liverpool. And now Alisson back towards Firmino on the halfway line, literally leaves the ball for Thiago, and he pings it across towards Robertson, off the chest, drops in front of him. Scottish international inside, Curtis Jones back towards Thiago. Yokoslu breaks up the move with a foot into the challenge, but Liverpool get it back. Curtis Jones coming forward now for Liverpool. Robertson to Mane, looking to turn, looking now to link up with Firmino, and the referee giving a free kick in favour of Liverpool, and certainly within shooting distance.
Yeah, dangerous area, 25 yards out. Mike Dean deciding the tackle from behind was foul worthy, and it's looking at it, and it's one that Liverpool this season they've struggled against in moments like this, where they've gone up against 2 banks of 4 or the 4 and a 5 or whatever it might be, to break these teams down. This is where they've struggled, and they need something special. So perhaps this is Trent Alexander-Arnold territory, and might be something special.
Well, we must be just under a fraction under 25 yards out from goal. We're watching from the right of the halfway line, and it's in the end towards our left-hand side, but it's either going to be the right foot of Alexander-Arnold or the left foot of Robertson, and it was the right foot of Alexander-Arnold. Took a deflection on its way through off the wall and behind for a corner kick, and West Bromwich Albion still lead by 1-0.
Yeah, good detail from West Brom. You expect that from Sam Allardyce. Put your tallest man in the way of where the trajectory of the ball's going to go, off the top of Kyle Barkley's head, away for a corner.
So in swinging corner from this near side, the left for Alexander-Arnold, both arms aloft, hits it right-footed, very, very deep. Nathaniel Phillips does ever so well to head it back into the crowded area, and cleared by West Bromwich Albion, picked up by Jones. Thiago now to Curtis Jones, midway through the West Brom half. Thiago returns the ball to Curtis Jones, sliding in was Gallagher. Referee Mike Dean says he got the ball. West Bromwich Albion, though, had everybody back. So when that ball is played out and it's drifted away from Townsend, Alexander-Arnold now with the ball towards Salah, brings it under control, and in the end his left-footed effort was a little bit weak, and it was straight at Sam Johnston. But what a delivery from Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah, brilliant ball in, and it's just ran out of time and ran out of space. He got the touch on, and the angle was too tight. The ball was under his feet. Mane a little bit disgruntled in the middle that he didn't find him with a cutback.
Robertson heading the ball in field. Yokoslu heads it forward. Nathaniel Phillips will head the ball away, and then about 4 players go for an aerial duel that drops towards Furlong, hits it forward. Pereira, nice first touch. Matt Phillips plays it back for West Bromwich Albion. 28 minutes played. Mane closes down Furlong. Out of play it goes for a throw, and West Bromwich Albion still lead through Robson Kanu's first Premier League goal since 2017, scored after a quarter of an hour. And Sam Allardyce, I'm sure, be one of those questions where it's an inspired team selection from Big Sam.
Yep, you'll ask him why, and he'll come up with an answer, but sometimes it's just a change. He just wants to have a change, and that's the manager's prerogative.
Of course, the key question is, will Sam Allardyce be here next season? And it's something that he highlighted in his press conference, and has said that it will be addressed before West Bromwich Albion play Leeds United in the final game next Sunday. So in that press conference, whether it be Thursday or Friday, that's when we're likely to find out whether Sam Allardyce will remain as West Bromwich Albion's manager. He fancies the challenge.
It'll be interesting to see who the decision makers of that are, because rumours about the ownership as well, so there's bigger questions even more so at the Hawthorns, and the future of Sam Allardyce as well.
BBC Sport website will of course be able to give you all the answers when they are decided. And of course you've got the BBC Sport app, so you can peruse at your leisure wherever you may go. As West Bromwich Albion approaching the half hour, still lead by 1-0. Liverpool on that far side, the right, deep inside the Albion half. Throw aimed towards Mane, cut out by Gallagher. Down it goes for another throw, right down by the corner flag, over on that far side. Not much movement at the minute from the red shirts of Liverpool. Alexander-Arnold struggling to pick out an option, and eventually it was to Fabinho, but it was easily dealt with by West Bromwich Albion's defence. But it will be another Liverpool throw, but it's midway through the Albion half. They try and take it quickly on this occasion. Curtis Jones leaves it for Alexander-Arnold. Nathaniel Phillips and Fabinho. So we hit that little bit back towards Reece Williams, who had to turn back to the way to face his own goalkeeper Alisson and steer it all the way back towards his goalkeeper. And now Thiago takes over just outside the centre circle of the Liverpool half to Mane. Lays it off to a trotting Thiago, and then Thiago plays it towards Nathaniel Phillips. Alexander-Arnold is pushed ahead of him over on that right hand side, infield to Firmino, 35 yards out from goal. Thiago now strokes it along the ground. This now is with Robertson, left corner of the area, playing in front of West Bromwich Albion, still trailing by 1-0. Thiago to Alexander-Arnold with his back to goal, able to turn, gets it out onto his left foot, but the shot from the edge of the area was always high and wide and off target, and it'll be a goal kick to West Brom.
More and more Liverpool come into the game, they're finding their feet, but you look at this West Brom team, they've got the numbers there, they've got the bodies there, and it's a snapshot from Trent Alexander-Arnold 20 yards out on his weaker foot. You're thinking, look, Sam Allardyce 31 minutes in, if that's the sum total of their efforts, really, you're looking at it. Mane's missed shot, Salah had a snapshot, a little flick of a shot, that's about it.
Yeah, he'll be very content, I would imagine, Sam Allardyce, who's unbeaten in his last 5 Premier League games against Liverpool. Tony Pulis once went on an unbeaten run of 6. That'll be an uncontested drop ball because referee Mike Dean got in the way of Fabinho. He's taken that very, very quickly to Firmino, looking for an equaliser. Here is Mane now. Mane hit that quite hard at a short distance from Firmino, and Salah, oh what a goal, brilliant goal from Salah, just a snapshot, came to him ever so quickly. Mane originally had lost the ball, he helped win it back, and Salah instinctively hit it first time, took everybody by surprise. Brilliant goal by Salah, and Liverpool are back level, 1-1.
Something out of nothing. Salah's a little bit, it's gone down injured in the process of scoring that goal, but what does well is Mane's work rate, his willingness to work, and the ball drops in front of Carl Bartley and he wants to clear the ball. He realises that he's going to get in front of him, and so doesn't take this big swipe at clearing the ball and allows Mane to just get that little toe in, and it comes to Salah and his shot is perfect, in off the far corner. Sam Johnson just can full stretch, full dive, no chance, and it's something out of nothing from a special player.
Yeah, really was. Terrific effort. Just hit it first time off that left foot of his and just kissing the inside of the left-hand post. But originally Mane drilled that ball quite hard at Firmino. That's why Liverpool lost it momentarily. But as Rob quite rightly says, it was Mane's persistence that just got that toe end to help win it back. And then Salah, just a first-time instinctive effort. And Johnston didn't have time to see it coming, did he?
You can see all the time you want for those, but it just feels like when you're in the goal, because it's bending up front with his left foot into your right hand corner, it feels like it's so far away, and you could have 10-foot long arms and still not get there, and it's just a wonderful finish.
It also means he draws level with Harry Kane in the race for the Golden Boot, with 22 goals apiece now for the two of them. But Liverpool dusting themselves down, and now looking to try and go in front with 11 minutes to go to half-time here at the Hawthorns. And here is Mane, opens up for Mane, holds onto the ball maybe a little bit too long. The back heel might break towards Firmino. Oh, so unlucky. Firmino denied by the post, comes back towards Robertson. Robertson's cross is charged down. Fabinho's kept it alive. Mane at the far post, still the danger remains. West Bromwich Albion eventually get the ball away.
One side of the post and it goes in. the other side of the post, it stays out. It's a brilliant strike. Firmino this time. Same post, different angle. 15, 16 yards out. Say it's a brilliant strike. You're thinking he's got the time, unlike Salah has, to pick his spot. And he just doesn't get it right.
Now they're creating a threat.
Yeah, I think they've upped it. They've upped it a few notches. They were getting on top. And also interesting, look, Yukuslu was doing a great job picking up, moving around. He's just getting a little bit tired. 35 minutes in, he's been doing a lot of tracking around, and he's not picking up the players as he was in the first 15-20 minutes.
Liverpool have got some work to do here. It goes all the way through to Robson Kanu, who's in again. He actually looked for a similar finish to when he scored the goal after 15 minutes, but very good work from Alexander-Arnold to come across the right back and to get that block in and see it behind for a corner kick.
Now Phillips just got it horribly wrong. Just went for a header, and I don't know what happened, but his legs just buckled underneath him and didn't get any height into the jump. Ball over his up top, but Trent Alexander-Arnold, brilliant recovery.
Going to be a corner kick for West Bromwich Albion. 1-1 then at the Hawthorns, 5 Live in the World Service. It's Pereira who takes it, almost goes all the way in. It was Alisson, watchful goalkeeping, to punch that ball away from underneath his crossbar.
He did very, very well there, because he's occupied by 3 West Brom players, and he can get caught out in those.
Pereira once again. In it comes another in-swinger, headed up by Nathaniel Phillips. Shemi Ajayi heads it goalwards, picked up by Alisson. If he can get it out to Alexander-Arnold, there could have been a break. In the end, he'll roll the ball out towards Nathaniel Phillips. Alexander-Arnold midway through the Liverpool half. 9 minutes to go to half-time. 5 Live, 1-1. Such an important game in the race for the top 4. Fabinho, Nathaniel Phillips first time. Thiago now to Reece Williams, the tall, lean, young defender. He's 20 years of age, breakthrough season when you consider that he made his debut against Lincoln City in the League Cup in September. This is his 17th appearance now for Reece Williams to carry the ball now towards the halfway line. And that's not a bad ball either if Salah can keep it in play. And Salah just couldn't, as he was forced out towards the corner flag. But nevertheless, he applauds the idea from the young defender. 8 minutes to go to the break, 1-1.
He got applauded from one player. He had about 6 others turning to him and got, calm down, just keep the ball for a minute.
Johnston to take the goal kick, and he goes long. Thiago wins that duel with Diangana. Alexander-Arnold coming forward, and with him was Firmino. His attempted cross was blocked. It's won back though by Thiago for Liverpool. Fabinho now has it. Fabinho, Liverpool all in red, playing from right to left. Salah, through ball was blocked by Gallagher. Curtis Jones makes sure that it doesn't reach Robson Kanu. Passes the ball out towards Thiago. Both fullbacks are high for Liverpool. Thiago to Fabinho. Reece Williams, just outside the centre circle of his own half. Robertson drops back near the halfway line and then played out towards Nathaniel Phillips, who comes forward now. The ball inside by Alexander-Arnold, played on the inside by Salah. Firmino back towards Salah. West Bromwich Albion and Yukuslu and Gallagher, but always under pressure because of the Liverpool press. Shemi Ajayi from the back, a curling forward ball. Matt Phillips, I think, had stayed onside. Here he is now against Reece Williams. The cross, though, there's nobody in that penalty area to meet it for West Bromwich Albion.
They're tiring, West Brom, and at the start of the game they were making those runs, they were getting there, but after defending the penalty area for 40 minutes, that run seems a long, long way all of a sudden. But it's an interesting one. It's a game within a game that West Brom are saying, we'll stay in our shape. How many bodies are you going to commit forward? Because we're going to leave 1 or 2 up.
Ball forward, Robertson to Mane. Picks out Firmino. Edge of the area. Tried to go centrally for the run of Salah. Townsend clears for West Bromwich Albion. Nathaniel Phillips will come across. And Nathaniel Phillips will go all the way back to Alisson. 5 minutes to go to half-time, 1-1. And Liverpool starting to pose many more problems for West Bromwich Albion than they did in the start of the game. As here is Mane coming deep to collect the ball. Thiago, Alexander-Arnold has gone motoring on that right-hand side. Wasn't spotted. Back with Thiago once again. Chips the ball forward. Salah makes the run into the penalty area. Tries to play it back to Alexander-Arnold. It will reach the England international from West Bromwich Albion's clearance. All the time in the world to pick out Thiago. The reverse ball. Fabinho with a drilled shot that was blocked. Alexander-Arnold now. Liverpool are in control, but it's 1-1. Fabinho towards Salah. The return ball. Fabinho hits it first time and scooped up and gathered just off the surface there inside the 6-yard area by Johnston.
Yeah, good hands there from Sam Johnston, because they're dangerous down by your feet, but he actually got his hands out in front of his body, way out, so you can control the ball, you can feel it in front of you, you know where it is, rather than it getting stuck under your body or slipping away. But Liverpool more and more in control, and because West Brom are in this 4-4-2, you're asking Gallagher and Yokoslu to cover so much ground in the middle of the midfield that now, after 40 minutes, they just can't do it, and they're getting passed around.
4 and a bit minutes to go to half time. Liverpool who've equalised through Salah. Now with Mane to Robertson. Curtis Jones keeping the ball. West Bromwich Albion at the minute have everybody back behind the ball. Reece Williams curls it across. Thiago once again finding the space and now running into it. Little step over as well thrown in by Thiago, 30 yards out from goal. His ball reaches Mane. Mane cuts inside, goes for a curling effort, and it's headed over by Kyle Bartley, and it might well have been a telling touch too, because that looked goal bound from our angle. Instead it's a corner kick at 1-1.
Yes, tired bodies on the pitch now. Looking at that, Mane just buying himself a yard of space, and the West Brom players just can't get tight. Cole Bartley coming across, tracking across into the penalty area. Last ditch defending.
Corner kick then for Liverpool. Alexander-Arnold to take it, headed away by Bartley, going back out towards Alexander-Arnold. Pereira hooks the ball clear for West Bromwich Albion, but they had every white and striped navy shirt back, and as a result, when Fabinho controls the ball inside the centre circle, Liverpool have the ball back. Thiago. 3 minutes to go to half time on 5 Live. Here is Robertson. Mane inside. Firmino have the bit between the teeth now to Liverpool. Here is Fabinho. Curtis Jones, right corner of the area, diverted out of play for a Liverpool throw that Alexander-Arnold quickly wants to take to Salah, just in from the byline. Back to Alexander-Arnold. Alexander-Arnold with a cross, swept away on the half volley by Kyle Bartley. Directed the header back by Curtis Jones to Alexander-Arnold. Foul there, free kick to West Bromwich Albion, and we have just over 2 minutes to go to half time.
West Brom will be grateful for the break. They've been defending for a long period of time now, and just need to get it through to half time. I'm surprised that they haven't dropped Hal Robson-Kanu into midfield, or Pereira, one of the two, just to sit, just to come that little bit deeper to help out, because with Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson pushing up so high, the wingers kind of have to drop into the defence. They have to track back, and that creates even more space for the midfield to have to cover.
1-1, 5 Live. Thiago, forward ball, cut out by Phillips, Matt Phillips for West Bromwich Albion, and there was a foul there on Gallagher by Firmino, because it looked so promising for West Bromwich Albion when they took the lead after 15 minutes. But Albion have lost their last 17 home league games against the reigning champions. The aggregate score before today certainly wasn't good, conceding 44 and only scoring 9. However, their last success against the reigning champion was Liverpool, all the way back in the 80-81 campaign. It was only
I was a newborn, don't worry, don't know whatever you were going to say.
I was a wee lad myself at the time, I think. But anyway, it's 1-1 now. Yokoslu, was he fouled by Fabinho? Yes, says the referee. And that'll be a direct free kick for West Bromwich Albion. And just under 30 yards out from goal, and fractionally it's right of centre. Now Yokoslu, who was fouled, is back on his feet, but the physios are going to come on and tend to Kyle Bartley, who's got a facial injury, so this might take a little bit of time just to stem the flow of blood from an aerial duel with Nathaniel Phillips.
That Phillips got his arms up to try and make the challenge and caught Kyle Bartley there, but Mike Dean was going to not give the free kick against Fabinho for the trip, but changed his mind and did so rightly. It was a foul, and you know what, they've seen it through to half time, all being equal, and West Brom, if they do nick something from this free kick, brilliant, but I think Sam Allardyce will be pleased that they dug in there. Yeah, their heads could have dropped after conceding that goal. They could have gone 2 or 3 down, but they've dug in and seen it through.
3 minutes of stoppage time in this first half, which of course will be longer than that, just due to the very nature that the two physios are still tending to Bartley, the West Bromwich Albion defender, and also when play does resume, West Bromwich Albion might fancy a little dig at goal from distance.
Pereira scored one earlier in the season against Everton from a similar distance, and it was a wonderful free kick, one of the free kicks of the season, and he'll fancy his chances.
So still Bartley is getting patched up with that facial injury, and that is why there is still the delay.
I played with Carl Bartley at Leeds United, and I seem to remember him playing with bandages on his head more often than not, so he's not shy to an aerial challenge and a clash of heads.
Well, just having a look at it, it's a cut which is just above the left eye, and there's a little bit of tape and Vaseline, I think, that has been applied to that, and of course in about 3 minutes time they'll be able to properly look at that in the half time, but they'll just want him to remain out there. But when it does resume, he's now back on his feet. It's going to be this free kick, which is right of centre, and it's just under 30 yards out from goal here on 5 Live. West Bromwich Albion 1, Liverpool 1. Pereira, or even maybe does Matt Phillips fancy a little pop here as well? He's poised, Matt Phillips. Bartley's actually still getting treatment off the field of play. Temporarily West Bromwich Albion are down to 10. So will it be the right foot of Matt Phillips or the left foot of Pereira? Allison has marshalled his wall. It's going to be left to Pereira, and Pereira strikes it, and it's over the top. Couldn't find the range, off target, goal kick. Still West Bromwich Albion 1, Liverpool 1.
Yeah, didn't quite get it right, and talking about attention to detail at the other end, and Liverpool's wall is so tall, and they also had Thiago lying on the floor as the draft excluder. Makes it a really tall order in more ways than one.
Bartley, who's back out in the field of play, cutting out a ball that was intended for Salah. His forward ball then deflected out of play for a West Bromwich Albion throw, and when that board was put up 3 minutes ago, those 3 minutes now would have elapsed. However, due to the length of that injury to Bartley, that's why Mike Dean is just playing the extra time at his own discretion until he decides that the half-time whistle has sounded. But Liverpool will certainly go into the break level pegging, but still work to do in the second half, because they need ideally the 3 points to put real pressure on Leicester City and Chelsea. Leicester 66, Chelsea 64, and Liverpool currently on 61 with the point that they've got here as the header away from Ajayi. Mane leans into Gallagher, unfairly so, says referee Mike Dean, and Gallagher's gone to ground, and the referee will have to blow his whistle again, because that'll be a free kick that West Brom wanted to take quickly, as Jurgen Klopp complains in the direction of the match official, but he'd spotted that Gallagher was down.
Yeah, that's a good decision from Gallagher, and Jurgen Klopp is going absolutely berserk in the technical area, because it was a really poor free kick to take quickly. Poor decision. I mean, they're trying to break early. I had no idea why. There was 1 against 3 at the back, but just killing Conor Gallagher did the right thing, trying to kill it through to half time and just take a knee for a moment.
It's poor old Andrew Madley who's got to try and placate the Liverpool manager. 1-1. West Bromwich Albion. down by the corner flag right-hand side. Matt Phillips rolls the ball back. Furlong hits it first time, delivered deep, missed by Alexander-Arnold. Ajayi there rolls it to Diangana. Diangana outside the penalty area, and then the Gallagher with the cross. Oh, flapping at that was Allison. He says he was impeded, and the referee Mike Dean agrees and blows his whistle.
Oh, good goalkeeping, I say. You say flapping, I say good goalkeeping. Came out, made contact with the ball and won a free kick for his team. Not sure it was too much of a free kick. He has a grin himself.
The goalkeepers' union is as strong as ever. When was it that you finished playing? 2 years ago?
You've never finished as a goalkeeper.
It certainly hasn't expired, let's put it that way, your membership. It's 1-1, 5 live here at the Hawthorns. Robson Kana, as the half-time whistle sounds, gave West Bromwich Albion the lead after 15 minutes, but Salah equalised after 33 minutes for Liverpool. So at half-time here at the Hawthorns, West Bromwich Albion 1, Liverpool 1.
And 2 lovely finishes, Rob Green. You'd have thought Robson Kanu's was his 21st of the season.
Yeah, so much confidence on it. And you talk about it, and as a goalkeeper, you stand there and say, make him beat you, let him beat you, don't commit. And Alisson did the right thing by standing there and saying, go on, beat me on the angle. And he did, and it was brilliant. He had a lot of time. When you think about it, his touch was so good. He had time to pick his spot and bend it in that far corner. It was a great finish, and then probably topped by Salah's more instinctive finish, and one that he just fired in that, drilled it and bent it with the pace, with the zip. Really, 2 really good finishes, as you say.
2 great goals, but Liverpool need another goal of any sort if they're to keep their top 4 prospects in their own hands. We'll have second half commentary to come from the Hawthorns. We've also got Everton, Sheffield United at 7 o'clock, and the Women's Champions League final, Chelsea-Barcelona at 8. Nadal Djokovic is going on right now in the Rome Masters final. Russell Fuller.
And Rafael Nadal, from an early breakdown, is now serving for the set. Love 30 down, mind you, but leading Novak Djokovic by 6 games to 5 under dark grey skies in Rome. There's a socially distanced crowd. There was also a nasty tumble for Nadal as he tripped on the line. Yes, they actually nailed the lines to the clay in Rome. He was furious, fearing injury. Seems to be fine, but it's the first time I've ever seen a man walking onto a clay court with a hammer in his hand.
It's also the final day of the latest round of county championship matches. Kevin Houses across all of this, as always. A record-breaking day in Durham, Kevin.
Yeah, well done to Chris Rushworth. Brilliant from Rushworth, leading wicket taker in first-class cricket for Durham. Needed 528 to get over the 527 mark when he was equal with Graham Onions. Actually ended with 531 in a victory for Durham over Worcestershire by 258 runs. Rushworth with 9 wickets in that game. Simon Harmer of Essex in the same group, 12 wickets in the match as Essex beat Derbyshire by an innings and 15 runs. It means that Essex are top of that group, Durham in second, just 3 points behind, but they've played 1 game fewer. Yorkshire ended their game with Glamorgan as a draw. It means Yorkshire do go top of their group over Lancashire. Kieran Carlson was on 88 not out. Glamorgan 164 for 4. It was a lead of 83 runs when eventually handshakes were taken at 10 past 5. We didn't get on until just after 4 o'clock because of the rain. And what else to tell you about? Just one other story really. Jack Leaning 127 not out as Kent drew their game with Sussex at Hove.
Kevin, thank you very much. We'll hear from Roy Hodgson and Dele Alli and talk Chelsea-Barcelona after the news with Joe Critcher.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
The Health Secretary, Matt Hancock, says there's a high degree of confidence that coronavirus vaccines will offer protection from the Indian variant. He says tomorrow's easing of restrictions in England will go ahead, but he's urging people to be cautious. Surge testing and vaccinations are underway in hotspot areas. So Mark Walport is a former chief scientific advisor to the government.
There's high confidence that it's more transmissible, and this realistic possibility that it could be as much as 50% more transmissible, which if it turns out to be the case will be problematic, which is why, we are really in a race between the virus and the vaccine.
The latest figures show another 4 people have died in the UK within 28 days of a positive COVID test. More than 36.5 million people, though, have now had their first vaccine dose. Those aged 35 and over in England will be offered a vaccine this week. A 2-year-old boy has died after an explosion destroyed a row of houses in Heysham in Lancashire. He's been named as George Hines. 2 people are critically injured. An investigation is underway into the cause. The UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has told a meeting of the Security Council that the hostilities between Israel and the Palestinians are appalling and must stop immediately. More than 180 Palestinians and at least 10 Israelis have died in 7 days of violence. And police in Glasgow say they expect to make many more arrests following last night's disorder as Rangers fans celebrated their Premiership win. 3 police officers were injured and 20 people were detained.
BBC Sounds.
I'm Joe Wicks and I want to know what makes you feel mentally and physically strong.
Get in the gym. If you're feeling frustrated and sad, you can get it out.
I'm back with a brand new series of my podcast and the guests I've got lined up are incredible. From the legendary Sir Tom Jones to national treasure Sir Mo Farah.
Anything is possible in life. If you condition yourself, you can get through it.
It's all about sharing ways to help you live a healthier and happier life.
I want people to dream big, to think big. The only thing that stands in our way is ourselves.
The Joe Wicks Podcast. Listen now on the BBC Sounds app.
5 Live's Premier League Sunday
with Steve Crossman.
West Brom 1, Liverpool 1, second half commentary on the way from the Hawthorns. Let's get some reaction to the other 2 games we've already had on the Premier League this afternoon. Crystal Palace beat Aston Villa 3-2. Wilfried Zaha amongst the scorers. Here's his manager Roy Hodgson.
We weren't happy at half-time, although I do think, to be honest, we'd come into the game a little bit better towards the latter part of the second half. But of course, we conceded a goal in that period, but we conceded a goal to go 2-1 down after we'd done quite well to get back to 1-1. But certainly in the second half, that for me was the Crystal Palace I've loved so much in the last 4 years. The desire, the aggression, the never say die spirit really of the team as well. You know, we're accepting sometimes that we're not going to be able to go out and roll teams over. We've got to really work hard and get everything right to get a result, and I thought we did that today, and I'm very pleased with the result. I'm very pleased with the performance, and I think the players deserve an awful amount of credit for the way they went about their business today.
An all-round team performance in that second half, but Eze and Zaha in particular were almost the heartbeat of your performance. Would you agree?
Yeah, they were very good set. I mean, they are quality players. I thought today we saw Wilf Zaha as he is for the first time fully in a long time. You know, it was great to see him set up. He was getting upset at the fouls he wasn't being given. He was chasing everything down. He was very, very dangerous when he got on the ball, making a lot of runs, and of course scoring a goal. And this year's been a great goal-scoring year for Wilf Zaha, and luckily now even for Christian Benteke, which bodes very well for the future.
That's Roy Hodgson. Just to say, Rafa Nadal has now won that first set in the Rome Masters final 7-5 against Novak Djokovic. Harry Kane and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg got Tottenham's goals in a 2-0 win over Wolves that moves them back into the top 6. That would mean a Europa League place as it stands. Dele Alli was back playing with a smile on his face. After the game, he spoke to Match of the Day's Martin Fisher.
On another day to complete an excellent afternoon's work, you would have found the net in the Premier League for the first time in over a year. Talk us through what happened there.
I didn't even know it's been that long, but yeah, gutted with myself. I should have finished it, but overall I think it was a good performance from everyone, and like I said, we need to keep improving and finish the season as strong as we can. Personally,
Dele, you're getting a run in the team at the moment. You're getting stronger and stronger with each outing out there?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. The main thing for me, obviously this late in the season, is not working on my fitness, just trying to help the team as much as I can when I'm on the field. I think I've been working hard all season in training, but it's hard to replicate that in games. You know, there's been a few games where after 5 minutes you feel a bit tired, but you have to keep working hard and keep fighting, and that's what I'm trying to do for the team. So yeah, whether it be scoring, assisting, or getting second balls, I'm just trying to do all I can for the boys and help as much as I can.
How frustrating have the last 2 seasons been for you? Because you were right at the pinnacle, weren't you? And then now it's injuries and comebacks and all that kind of thing. How difficult has it all been for you, Dele?
Yeah, it's been tough. But I'm still 25. Feel old now, but like I say, I've still got a long way to go, and I'm trying to work as hard as I can to not get back to where I was, to push on further than that, and to be the best player I can possibly be and help the team as much as I can. And it's not probably gone the way I probably would have wanted it to, but that's football. You can't plan these things, and anything I can do is change the position I'm in and keep working as hard as I can, and that's what I'm doing.
Interesting interview, that. Dele Alli there with Match of the Day's Martin Fisher. Off the back of commentary at the Hawthorns, it'll be 6:06 with Robbie Savage and Chris Sutton. Afternoon, guys.
Afternoon, Steve. Afternoon, Christopher. Christopher, let's start with Crystal Palace. Roy Hodgson saying that Eze and Zaha's performances bodes well for Crystal Palace's future. But will that future involve Roy Hodgson at Crystal Palace?
Well, look, it's a difficult one, isn't it, Rob? I suppose to Crystal Palace fans, is it simply a question, who can do a better job? Tell us who can do a better job than Roy Hodgson. I always believed that Palace shouldn't get too far ahead of themselves. We've seen what happened in the past when they got De Boer in as manager. Quick change there. Do you want a new manager next season, Palace fans? Tell us who.
And what about Spurs fans, Chris? Do they want Ryan Mason or somebody else to lead their side next season?
Well, do you know what? Somebody WhatsApped me last night, and I do have friends, Rob, about Bielsa for Spurs. I don't believe that Ryan Mason can get the job if Spurs want to make progress. But let's hear from Spurs fans. Also, Dele Alli, we just heard the interview, looks a happier man, doesn't he? Good to see him back. I think only 5 Premier League starts this season, but does Dele Alli now have a future at Spurs? And was the problem, Rob, was it Dele Alli or was it Jose? What do you think? What do you think, Rob?
Question. 08285 996 93. Who WhatsApped you? Whose names, Chris? We need names.
Listen, Rob, in this business, you have to keep your sources confidential. You're better than that, Rob.
And Leicester City yesterday, Christopher. Wow, what a win it was.
Yeah, and there must be some heavy heads in Leicester this afternoon. They sobering up. Let's hear from Leicester fans. Were you at the game? I know you were in the stadium, Rob. You said the atmosphere was absolutely electric. Let's hear from Leicester fans who were in the stadium or at home. It was a brilliant performance. Thoroughly deserved the victory. What a job Brendan Rodgers is doing.
And coming on after us, Chris, is on 6:06 tonight is the Women's Champions League finals. How well has Emma Hayes and Chelsea done this season? Can they win it?
Can they win it? I think they can, and I think they'd be on for a quadruple, which would be unbelievable, Rob, wouldn't it?
Absolutely fantastic. 08085 909 693. And you're in Glasgow, Chris, so I'm sure we'll talk about Rangers Asterix invincible season.
Absolutely, yeah, call in. Love to hear from you, Rangers fans.
Cheers, Steve.
Robbie, Chris, thank you very much. So 6:06 right off the back of commentary at the Hawthorns. And then, as they were saying, we've got the Women's Champions League final, which kicks off at 8 o'clock. Delighted to say commentator Vicky Sparks is with us. Afternoon, Vicky.
Good afternoon, Steve. I'm so looking forward to this.
Well, I mean, it has all of the ingredients, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. I mean, if these two sides both bring their A games, then we could be in for an absolutely fabulous final. I have to say, I think it's finely balanced. Barcelona have been utterly irresistible in the Spanish top flight this season. They won the league title last weekend with 8 games to spare. They have a 100% record in the league and a goal difference of plus 123, which is just ridiculous. I mean, yes, the Spanish league is much less competitive than the Women's Super League in England, but Barca are a team packed with talent, and that's been displayed in their Champions League campaign as well. They eased past Manchester City in the quarter-finals. They knocked out Paris Saint-Germain, who are having a superb season in the semi-finals as well. But Chelsea are a side brimful of brilliance too. That devastating duo of Australia captain Sam Kerr and England's Frank Kirby in particular. Those two have scored 52 goals between them this season. But Chelsea's success tonight, I think, Steve, is going to depend as much on their defence as their attack. Ann-Katrin Berger has pulled off some world-class saves in goal for them of late, and their captain Magdalena Eriksson is a real rock at centre-half. But they've got to be at their best tonight, Chelsea. If they are, then this really could go either way.
We've talked a lot about Emma Hayes, Fran Kirby, Sam Kerr already today. So name names from a Barcelona perspective. Who should we be listening out for?
You should definitely be listening out for Lieke Martin. She burst onto the scene back in Euro 2017. She was the player of the tournament as the Netherlands won that. She scored twice in their semi-final win over Paris Saint-Germain. They've got a doubt over one of their big players as well in midfield, Alexia Putellas. She trained separately yesterday. She's got a bit of a thigh problem. If she misses out, that will be a blow for them, but they have the strength and depth, Barcelona, to cope with that. They're also missing one of their stalwarts at the back, the centre-half, Andrea Pereira. She's suspended. She has had started every match in the Champions League for them this season. So a couple of question marks over what team they're going to put out, but certainly Martins from an attacking point of view, and Jenny Hermoso as well, the Spain striker. She's actually level at the moment with Fran Kirby on 6 in the Champions League. They're going for the Champions League Golden Boot. But again, there is talent all over the pitch with this Barcelona side.
Vicky, thank you very much. Vicky Sparks will be your commentator. The team also includes Izzy Christensen and Pat Nevin. Full commentary on the Women's Champions League final to come at 8 o'clock for Everton Sheffield United in the Premier League, which starts at 7. You'll be able to hear that one on 5 Live Sports Extra. But we've got a really important game in the Premier League going on right now as well. West Brom won, Liverpool won. If it stays like this, Liverpool will still be 3 points behind Chelsea, and their top 4 destiny will no longer be in their own hands. We are bringing you full commentary, by the way, on Tuesday night of Chelsea versus Leicester, which is going to be a huge game in the Premier League. But Liverpool need to do their own job too. Rob Green's with Ian Dennis.
Thank you, Steve. This time last year, Liverpool were 21 points clear of Manchester City. They're now 23 points behind Manchester City, but as you say, the points differential is what they need to try and overcome to try and get into the top 4. That's what concerns Jurgen Klopp and his side. After getting that equaliser through Mo Salah, when they've be hoping to try and kick on and secure the 3 points to narrow that gap between Leicester City and Chelsea, to really put pressure on those two when they meet at Stamford Bridge for that 8:15 game that, as you say, you'll be able to listen to on BBC Radio 5 Live. West Bromwich Albion won, Liverpool won. Neither side has made a change at half-time, so I'll run through the two teams for you. Johnston in goal for West Bromwich Albion. Back 4 of Furlong, Bartley, Ajayi and Townsend, as West Bromwich Albion in this second half in their white and navy blue striped shirts and white shorts, with Phillips, Gallagher, Yokoshlu, Diangana, Robson, Kanu, Pereira is their side. Alexander Arnold is forward. Alexander Arnold, a shot left-footed, cleared away by Townsend, picked up by Robertson, very much on the front foot. Liverpool at the start of the second half. Gallagher manages to nick it away from Robertson, helped on by Pereira. Phillips on the far side, the right for West Bromwich Albion. Reece Williams has gone across towards him, but he'll get a corner for his efforts. I'll give you the Liverpool side quickly. Alisson in goal. Back 4 of Alexander Arnold, Williams, Nathaniel Phillips and Robertson, Jones, Fabinho and Thiago, Salah, Firmino and Mane. Rob Green.
Yeah, started as it started in the first half, with West Brom leaving bodies forward and then committing when they go forward. They go forward with pace, commit, and they're dangerous on the counter-attack.
And it's a corner kick for West Bromwich Albion, and it's over on that far side, the right. This will be an in-swinging corner, and it comes now, delivered towards the far post, off the head of Bartley, who was running away from goal, and out it goes for a goal kick to Liverpool, who come into this on a run of decent form, unbeaten in 7 in the Premier League. They've won 5, they've drawn 2. You consider they'd previously lost 6 of the 7 before that run, looking to try and force their way into the last 4, as Thiago plays a ball from the edge of his own penalty area forward towards Firmino. Now finds Curtis Jones on the halfway line. Salah down in front of us. Right hand side, 1-1. Liverpool need the 3 points. Alexander Arnold back to Nathaniel Phillips, along the ground. Jones turns, Fabinho, Mane comes short. Fabinho then plays the ball out to Robertson, level with the penalty area, just in from the touchline. Back it goes to Robertson, inside to Curtis Jones, coming forward now and attacking the West Brom defenders, running into the penalty area, left hand side. Plays it back to Robertson, waiting. Mane on the inside. Mane back to Robertson. Mane's run not required. Instead, Robertson gets it back from Fabinho. Waiting on the overlap was Curtis Jones, now coming in off that left touchline. Challenge was made, rolls out of play very, very gently, out for a Liverpool throw.
It's well defended by West Brom, but at the start of the attack, when they played out and Thiago played through that initial press, Salah got the ball, the switch was on to Robertson. He's an acres of space and he didn't do it, and it just allowed that fraction of a second for the West Brom players to get back, and then all of a sudden it's a really tough prospect to get through 2 banks of 4.
Thiago picked out Alexander-Arnold, who whipped in the cross from the right-hand side. Again, another devilish delivery. Salah's ball in towards the far post. Mane reacting so well. Flag is raised. Late flag, it'll go to VAR. But Mane did ever so well at the far post to put that ball in from Salah's cross. And judging by the players' reactions, I think they're expecting this one to be ruled out.
Hands went up straight away, and it's fortunate for Pereira because he actually tried to clear the ball and cleared it into his own face, which dropped to Salah. And he put a wonderful ball in, but Mane was clearly offside. He hadn't actually come back from the initial attack, and so yeah, he did do well to get there, but had a bit of a head start.
And it was quickly dismissed from VAR. I don't think that would have taken too long from Kevin Friend back at Stockley Park to view that one. So that is further frustration for Liverpool, with Mane's goal disallowed after Firmino had hit the post just 2 minutes after Salah had put them ahead. But it equalised. Here is Salah trying to put Liverpool ahead on this occasion, and cleared away, and he beats his hands down into the ground in frustration. But Liverpool have made a very positive start second half, Rob.
Yeah, they've been bright. They've looked to use that attack quickly, and when they can play through that press, and sometimes when you've got that energy as a West Brom team and you look to press, you leave yourself exposed. So perhaps just take a moment, recalibrate for this West Brom side, just say, okay, we're up against a very, very good side here, let's just defend for a few minutes.
Jones, Fabinho, Mane over far side the left is Robertson, being patient, back inside to Mane. Here is Fabinho in a forward position, taken off his toes there on that far side by Matt Phillips. Didn't run the ball out of play, and he clears long. Reece Williams tries to pen Pereira in, but in fact Phillips wriggles free to Pereira. So Pereira now is running clear back on the inside, and Pereira's shot off his left foot was saved by Alisson. He's almost encroaching onto the pitch, Sammy Lee, in his eagerness to point and clap and urge on the West Bromwich Albion players. His enthusiasm certainly is as large as ever, and remains as Mane forward, undiminished. Mane's lost the ball, and West Bromwich Albion will win a throw. 6 minutes into the second half, 1-1.
Quite an open start to the second half. There are at times where West Brom sit in, but when they commit, they are committing forward. Robson Kanu doing really well, shrugging off two players, and Pereira with the opportunity to shoot, and then straight back down the other end. So you're kind of thinking at times that you're playing into Liverpool's hands if you get into some sort of basketball match. But you know what, with this West Brom side, with the tools that they've got to break, they're looking dangerous themselves.
6:06 is coming up on BBC Radio 5 Live with Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage. 08085909693, the usual number, as West Bromwich Albion are attacking at 1-1. Diangana was played into the penalty area, but just going through the gears and taking it away was Alexander-Arnold. He finds Salah, laid off by Firmino. Salah's gone on ahead of him. Mane, if he can find him now, instead he plays it back to Thiago. Thiago across towards that left-hand side, just forced back a little bit was Curtis Jones. Here now is Robertson. Jones almost at a walking pace to Firmino. 5 Live in the World Service, 1-1 at the Hawthorns. Liverpool, though, need to win to keep destiny as far as the top 4 in their own hands. Mane finds Salah, back towards Mane, right hand side of the penalty area with his back to goal, to Salah, Liverpool's goal scorer, got that equaliser. He waits, Thiago turns, plays in Robertson, Curtis Jones, left corner of the penalty area, back inside towards Thiago. Thiago tries to get away from Yukoslu. West Bromwich Albion are deep inside their own half defending. Liverpool are trying to force a way through. It's Curtis Jones twisting and turning, being forced out of the penalty area on that left-hand side. And now towards Thiago once again. Thiago coming forward, little step over edge of the area, tries to hold off Yukoslu. Now they break their ranks to West Bromwich Albion. Gallagher putting pressure on Reece Williams. Every outfield player is camped inside the West Bromwich Albion half. Liverpool are just waiting for that moment. Here is Curtis Jones running away, keeping his balance and turning, and drifts back out towards the left. Thiago now takes over, but they're playing in front of West Bromwich Albion. 8 minutes into the second half. Here is Fabinho, square along the ground. Nathaniel Phillips finds Alexander-Arnold, central position, loses out to Yokoshlu. They try and hunt to win the ball back. Townsend's ball. Was there a foul from Nathaniel Phillips? No, says the referee. No foul on Pereira. The play continues and Liverpool seeing a lot of the ball, Rob.
Yeah, they're doing well, and what they're doing well.
Here is Robertson, left corner of the penalty area, past a flat-footed Firmino, bypassed him, and as Yokoshlu tries to spread the ball out towards Pereira on this near side, he couldn't keep the ball in play. It'll be a Liverpool throw.
I was just about to say is what they're doing well is the two young centre halves are being brave, and they're actually pushing up way into the West Brom area at half, and from that it allows everyone else to play that bit higher up the pitch.
Mane picks it up, drives forward. Mane still going. He's found Salah inside the penalty area. Connor Townsend has marshalled that danger, and last touch off Salah. It'll be a goal kick. 10 minutes into the second half, 1-1.
Did well there, Connor Townsend. Just used his body, got in the way, just done it, did enough. His physical presence just to put Salah off. But as I was saying, it's allows Liverpool to press way into the West Brom half, and from there you're looking as a West Brom player, you win the ball, and your centre forward, your outlet is 25-30 yards from your own goal. You've got nowhere to go.
Everton Sheffield United on the Premier League, 7 o'clock kickoff at Goodison. That's on Sports Extra, because after 6:06 on 5 Live we will have for you the Women's Champions League final. Chelsea against Barcelona. Vicky Sparks, Izzy Christiansen and Pat Nevin, your commentary team. As Liverpool at 1-1 on the attack. Mane to Alexander-Arnold, hits the ball long, one bounce through to Sam Johnston, the West Bromwich Albion goalkeeper.
It's a strange choice that from Trent Alexander-Arnold. You had West Brom stretched, you had options, and went for a lofted ball forwards, a fairly harmless ball, and you're looking at the West Brom back line with Carl Bartley and the likes at the back, and you're just thinking Ajayi with him, you're just thinking that's the sort of ball they want to defend.
West Bromwich Albion are on the attack. Cross coming in from Diangana, and it's turned behind by an outstretched right leg from Reece Williams. And Shaqiri is getting his final instructions. So Liverpool are going to be making a change, and the Swiss international Xherdan Shaqiri is going to be coming on for Liverpool, as West Bromwich Albion have a corner kick on this near side, the left, to take 1-1 in a game that Liverpool really do have to win. And it comes now, headed away well by Nathaniel Phillips, and now the break is on for Liverpool. And it's Alexander-Arnold who's got Salah going ahead of him. If Alexander-Arnold could find him, and he has. Here is Salah. Salah inside the penalty area and saved by Johnston. And then the flag is raised. I thought he'd timed his run very, very well.
It was all about timing. The break was on. West Brom got the corner horribly wrong, and Salah, he was onside, I think. I think he's just putting his flag up to be safe, but they would have reviewed that had it gone in. But Sam Johnson did well, stood up, waited to be beaten, backed himself to make a block, and he did that. He's a sizable frame in the goal. He's an imposing figure, and did enough.
West Bromwich Albion started well. They took the lead after 15 minutes, and it was a well-taken goal from Robson Kanu, his first in the Premier League since November 2017. But since then, the chances have fallen to Liverpool. Obviously Salah with the equaliser, but Mane had gone close before that. Firmino since hit a post. Mane's had a goal disallowed, and then Salah there with that other chance there, saved by the goalkeeper Johnston. We're approaching the hour mark, and Liverpool are just starting to turn the screw. Mane pulls it back. Robertson coming into the penalty area, just stopped in his tracks as it looked very, very threatening. Gallagher to clear. Reece Williams pops the ball up in the air, brought under control by Fabinho. Seems that it's brightening up now at the Hawthorns after that deluge of rain earlier on in the afternoon, but it's still 1-1. Here is Fabinho out towards Firmino. Robertson left hand side looking for the cutback, denied by a sliding furlong. Out it goes for a corner kick to Liverpool, and now the change will be made, and it'll be Curtis Jones who's coming on, or coming off rather. So the England under-21 international makes way for Shaqiri with an hour nearly played. 1-1, 5 Live, Rob.
Yeah, he's been quiet today. Coach Jones, we all know the talents that he's got, the ability he's got on the ball to get on the ball. I just think that when they've come up against this defensive block, his role there was to take up bodies and allow the likes of Thiago and to Fabinho to dictate play. So it's kind of more of a supporting role today.
So the rather stocky Shaqiri enters the fray. Corner kick for Liverpool from that left-hand side. West Bromwich Albion player is down, and Mike Dean, the very nature of the fact that it could be a head injury, will have to stop play.
Kushlu, it's a really good header. Did very, very well under pressure. Two players coming in at speed, and he took one for the team up there. Knew he was going to get clattered. Did so. I think he's been impressive since he's come in. He's done a good job for West Brom.
Yeah, it's on loan from Celta Vigo. Do you think that maybe another Premier League club might look to try and look at his services?
Yeah,
for next
I
season?
think looking at this role that he's got at the moment doesn't particularly suit him. He's doing a good job in there in the middle of the two. I think he'd rather be sat behind another two. And I think if you're looking as a team and you're saying, well, that's the only role he can play, then it's kind of a sort of one peg into one hole, and that's all it goes. So he's impressed, but I think that's the only position he can really play in the Premier League.
Turkish international, 27 years of age, and fit enough to resume after that little bang, and play is back underway with an hour played on BBC Radio 5 Live. And Liverpool still being held here by West Bromwich Albion, so it's still very much advantage Leicester City and Chelsea in the race for the top four. Kasper Schmeichel, who was interviewed post-match after their FA Cup success yesterday, said they're back training today in readiness for that vital game at Stamford Bridge. He gave a terrific in-depth interview with Dion Dublin ahead of the cup final, where he'd basically charted his entire journey at Leicester City, offered real insight as to what it's been like, made such an important role in their success yesterday as the free kick comes in, headed up and behind by Thiago. As a goalkeeper, you'd have definitely admired those two key saves that he made, wouldn't he?
Yeah, fantastic saves, and he makes a lot of saves in that side, and they've relied on him more and more. And like I said before the game, he's refined that skill, refined his technique over years. It's just been so impressive.
In comes the cross from West Bromwich Albion, and the Liverpool goalkeeper Alisson was I think he thought that was going out for a goal kick, as it was played towards the far post towards Shemi Ajayi, but instead it's going to be a corner kick for West Bromwich Albion. So we're in the 62nd minute at the Hawthorns. You're listening to the World Service, but also of course BBC Radio 5 Live from the BBC. And West Bromwich Albion way that end towards the left hand side, have a corner kick, and at the near post was Furlong leaping and heading it off target and out for a goal kick for Alisson to take.
Those out-swinging corners that Perez taking from this side, the West Brom left, are not nearly as threatening. I think they might just be missing a trick, because the in-swinging ones are posing a real problem for Liverpool.
20 years ago today was the day that Liverpool defeated Alaves 5-4 in Dortmund to win the UEFA Cup. If they're unable to get victory here today, they may be playing in that competition, of course, now under the guise of the Europa League, because it will be a serious setback for their top four ambitions. Here is Fabinho to Robertson. 27 minutes of normal time remain. Thiago finds Salah. The little flick doesn't quite come off, but still reaches Firmino. Mane back inside to Salah. The return ball to Mane goes down under a half-hearted challenge, and it was more in hope than anything else. There was not really many protests from the Liverpool players as Mane lost his footing inside the penalty area. Play continues with Liverpool 1-1 at the Hawthorns. Firmino to Thiago, still had a little glance over his right shoulder, passes the ball out towards Robertson, 6 yards in from the left touchline, looking towards Mane in the penalty area, turned behind by Furlong, corner kick. Liverpool still applying pressure, Rob.
Yeah, still pushing, coming up against this West Brom block, and was better from Mane. He just got the ball and gave a go and made a run and just trying to make something happen, something different, and took a tumble, didn't really appeal for it, got up and got on with it.
Corner kick for Liverpool, far side the left, it's an outswinger. Headed away by Matt Phillips, might come to Alexander-Arnold. He heads the ball forward. Johnston quickly off his goal line, catches that ball around chest height, holds on to the ball and waits for the players to break ahead of him. It's an overarm throw out to the blonde-haired Conor Gallagher on a season-long loan from Chelsea. So he'll be trying to serve his parent club very, very well by frustrating Liverpool here today. As Pereira running forward and gets a corner kick. Shaqiri thought that he'd overrun the ball, but it will be a corner awarded by Mike Dean.
Yeah, did really well because he had overrun it and just managed to drag his foot across the top of the ball and onto Shaqiri's foot. He knew that he wasn't going to do anything other than just try and poke it onto his foot, and it's won a good set piece.
So corner kick for West Bromwich Albion, near side the left, towards the far post, punched away by Alisson, who was fouled, and that'll be a free kick to Liverpool. But Alexander-Arnold has taken it a good 6 yards further than where the foul was committed, and Mike Dean quite rightly says that play has got to come all the way back for the Brazilian goalkeeper to take that free kick. 25 minutes remaining, 25 minutes for Liverpool to find a goal that they need.
Yeah, they've not really had the opportunities this half. They've had the ball, not managed to break West Brom down.
Here is Salah, looked offside for Mane. In fact, he stopped and looked towards the flag, and now the flag is raised.
I mean, it makes a farce of it, doesn't it, really? Because he's yards offside. He knows he's offside. He's running through just for the hell of it, and we've all got to go through the process of kicking the ball away, getting it back, and realistically, if there was 25,000 fans in here, you'd have all seen it and said the same thing.
It must frustrate everybody, that. I've heard so many people complain about, the late flag.
Well, I was at a game at Molineux when Patricio got what looked like a serious head injury from an offside, a knee to the head, and while it wouldn't have been avoided, that sort of situation is the one that you're thinking could happen.
Good advantage played by referee Mike Dean. Salah helps it out towards Mane. Liverpool are attacking now. Mane held up well by Furlong. Picked back up by Mane. Drags the ball back towards Thiago. The referee's played another advantage there for a foul on Mane. Shaqiri, Alexander-Arnold, first time cross is very deep and hard hit from Alexander-Arnold, and it goes out of play for a throw. But credit to Mike Dean, twice there he let the game flow, because Thiago initially had been fouled by Gallagher, and then there was another foul, but it'll be a throw instead to West Bromwich Albion far side. We're almost midway through the second half, and still West Bromwich Albion 1, Liverpool 1, and Liverpool will still be 3 points away from Chelsea, and they'll be 5 away from Leicester City, ahead of those two sides who meet on Tuesday night. We'll actually have Manchester United Fulham for you from our first commentary on Tuesday. Here is Firmino, who shoots, takes the deflection, goes behind for a corner kick. So Man United Fulham at 6, Chelsea Leicester City at 8:15. Southampton Leeds is on Sports Extra, and then Wednesday Everton Wolves is on Sports Extra. West Bromwich Albion against West Ham United will be on BBC Radio 5 Live at 8:15. But with a quarter of this game remaining, still 1-1. Liverpool take the short corner on the left-hand side. In comes the cross. Alexander-Arnold off the head of Bartley, headed away by Townsend. Going to run out for a Liverpool throw. Liverpool trying to keep up the pressure. Going to be a Shaqiri throw, level with the penalty area on this near side. All in red, playing from left to right. And bring you the reaction as well, if we can, into 6:06, which is coming up with Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage, and that'll be another Liverpool throw. The back heel from Alexander-Arnold coming off the shins of Diengana. Alexander-Arnold ready to take the throw now. He finds Thiago, goes actually through his legs, rebounds off the body of Robson-Kanu back in favour of Thiago. In comes the cross from Alexander-Arnold to the feet of Mane, goes away from him. Matt Phillips plays it back, and Furlong has got time to look up and hit the ball long for West Bromwich Albion. Reece Williams gets it back, and Liverpool will come again. Firmino. Here is Shaqiri. Quickly passes the ball to Alexander-Arnold. He's been an outlet on this right-hand side. Shaqiri now with a lazy strike of the left leg. Picks out Robertson, left-hand side, just in from the touchline. Back towards Fabinho. Infield towards Shaqiri. Forward towards Salah. Inside the penalty area. Surrounded Salah. Still battling for the ball. And in the end, it was Yokoslu who takes the ball away. And he looks for the run of Pereira. There's around 4 Albion players there with around Salah. Pereira, good control. Inside to Yokoslu. Forward ball now to Gallagher. Man over, as that was late on Gallagher by Fabinho. Matt Phillips now running forward for West Bromwich Albion. Cross takes a deflection. Game very, very open behind for a corner kick. 20 minutes remaining.
20 minutes to go, and you have to say, and we questioned it before the game, West Brom have been brilliant today. Having been relegated, they could have any opportunity, any reason they could have given not to have turned up today. But whatever happens between now and the end of the game, if they tire and get beaten, they've really put a shift in. And just as you're saying there, 4 of them around Salah defending, really manned up, got on with the game. And you're looking at it there, they're putting the bodies on the line on the breaks. They're really trying for the team.
Yes, they are. And with 20 minutes remaining, Liverpool are going to have some hard work to do to try and get the 3 points. They've got some defending to do here. Gallagher with a corner kick from the right-hand side, and the downward header, and West Bromwich Albion have taken the lead, and it's not going to count because the flag is up on the far side. It was Kyle Bartley who got the final touch, but this will go to VAR. But judging by the flag, Darren Can in consultation at the moment, and it might well be that VAR has the say, and it's offside against Bartley.
It's a goal. It's a goal. He's given offside to Matt Phillips, who's on the goalkeeper, and he's not touched the ball. And Carl Bartley's running through as the contact is made.
But is the West Bromwich Albion player then not interfering in the eye line of Alisson?
Well, I can't see, because that's not the shot. He's interfering with the eye line, but that's a pass.
Well, the goal has been disallowed, and it remains West Bromwich Albion 1, Liverpool 1, and West Brom's goal disallowed through VAR. Here is Mane. Shaqiri. We'll be getting the team news from Goodison Park very, very soon, but here is Alexander-Arnold. Back now with Thiago. That was a let-off for Liverpool, because to lose this game would be a real blow for them. Inside to Mane, just couldn't turn, and cleared away. Shemi Ajayi. Let's get the team news then from Goodison Park. Conor McNamara.
It's actually Tom Gale, Deno, but Carlo Ancelotti makes one Everton change. James Rodriguez returns from injury as Gylfi Sigurdsson drops to the bench. 3 Sheffield United changes. Paul Heckingbottom brings in Robinson, Osborne, and a first Premier League start for 17-year-old Canadian Daniel Jebbenson. Out go Bryant, Berger and Burke to join the subs.
Apologies, Tom. It's Conor who's providing the commentary on 5 Live Sports Extra with Michael Brown for that 7 o'clock kickoff. Matt Phillips, though, just looking at it again, was directly in front of Alisson.
You're right, and he is offside, and he is interfering with the eye line. But my question is the interference in the eye line only on the shot? Is it, if it's on a pass, because it comes off Carl Bartley's knee, he's the last man, so that constitutes a shot rather than the header from Ajayi. So I don't know, that would be my question.
Well, you might well want to have your say regarding that on 606 with Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage. Meanwhile, Maitland-Niles has come on and Diengana has gone off as Alisson quickly goes to the feet of Robson Kanu. Tell you what, though, West Bromwich Albion are giving it a go, aren't they?
They're causing problems, and it's on. The opportunity's on, and I think they're sensing it. And Liverpool are getting more and more anxious. They're getting the ball. They're rushing the free kicks, rushing the restarts, and you know what? The opportunity's there for West Brom.
73 minutes played. Alexander-Arnold keeps it alive, and Carl Bartley has to make the quick and hurried clearance inside his 6-yard area. West Bromwich Albion 1, Liverpool 1. Mike Dean just not allowing this throw to be taken quickly on this near side the right. So what's VAR, I presume, looking at now?
I'm assuming it was a potential handball against Townsend, but he did well actually just to avoid it.
Alexander-Arnold with the cross, punched away by a tumbling Johnston, comes back out towards to Robertson on that far side, now towards Thiago in the weak evening sunshine. Thiago now tries to thread it through. Firmino, can he get the shot away? Just wide, left-footed, slams into the advertising hoardings, off target, goal kick, 1-1, 16 minutes to go.
Quick feet, just trying to get himself half a yard, good from Thiago into the feet. Firmino found himself just the tiniest bit of room and did really well to create that bit of space, but the angle was against him, couldn't get his foot around it.
West Bromwich Albion are going to make a change. Okay Koshlu, the Turkish international, is coming off, and Jake Livermore is coming on. Only had 2 substitute appearances in his last 13 matches, Jake Livermore, but some fresh legs for the 15 minutes that remain of this contest of West Bromwich Albion 1, Liverpool 1. The ball goes long, headed on. Referee Mike Dean, though, blows his whistle, and Liverpool want to take the free kick quickly. Shaqiri to Alexander-Arnold, back towards Thiago. Nathaniel Phillips now, but at the heart of that Liverpool defence. Reece Williams back towards Nathaniel Phillips. Time is running out for Liverpool. Draw not really good enough. A draw, though, would suit Leicester City and Chelsea in the race for the top 4. Ball over the top, taken well on the chest by Robertson. Inside! And it just goes wide. Shemi Ajayi running in at the near post, sliding, steers it behind for a corner kick.
It's a wonderful switch of the play from Thiago and Robertson. It's time and time again we've seen him do it. Touch, cross into that horrible area for a centre half, and Ajayi does brilliantly, because any less of a touch and it's an own goal.
Corner kick for Liverpool, far side to left. It's an outswinger. Firmino was there. Headed away by Maitland-Niles, picked up by Fabinho. West Bromwich Albion have some defending to do. Headed away by Furlong, unchallenged, out of play. It goes for a throw on that far side, the Liverpool left. 14 minutes of normal time remain. Liverpool really did need the 3 points to keep up the pressure, with games to come. Burnley away and Crystal Palace at home. Here is Mane. Mane now to Salah, just showed a little bit too much to Townsend. The left back was tucked in and cleared edge of his own penalty area. Thiago on the stretch, keeps it with Liverpool. Firmino just in from that left touch line. Challenge made by Gallagher, breaks towards Shaqiri. Fabinho is going to shoot from distance, and he's pulled that from 35 yards out, right footed, well off target, goal kick. 1-1, Rob Green.
Well, let off for West Brom, that. No real need to take the shot. You're in good position, keep the ball, recycle it, keep probing, but it takes a wild punt from 30 odd yards. West Brom will be happy with that for the remaining 15 minutes.
Yes, they will. They might even try and fashion a chance themselves at the other end as Pereira plays it back to Townsend. Here is Matt Phillips to Livermore. Furlong, the right back, 6 yards inside the Liverpool half. Back then to Ajayi, hits it downfield. Could come in here, this could be an opportunity. And in the end, it was to Robson Kanu. And the goalkeeper, Allison, stood tall, got the block in with his left leg behind for a corner kick.
Huge chance for Robson Kanu, and it's that opportunity, just playing on the shoulder, and everybody misses it. Just his first touch was a little bit too far away from him, ended up being a bit of a poke towards goal, but Allison, as he does so often, he's so quick off his line, makes the block.
And a good block as well from Allison. Corner kick then for West Bromwich Albion, still 1-1 and 12 minutes of normal time remaining. Gallagher, far side the right, comes off the back of the head for Firmino. Maitland-Niles will go back. Townsend inside the centre circle, along the ground, a diagonal ball. Gallagher forward. It's towards Cross, which is played in from that right-hand side by Furlong. Gallagher's overrun that, lifted up into the air by Fabinho, brought down now by Thiago, and his forward ball touched out towards that far side, Shaqiri left-hand side. Now in the sunshine here at the Hawthorns. Thiago, Shaqiri lays the ball off. Robertson's over the halfway line. Firmino's just ahead of him, wanting the ball to feet. Inside, it's short and square towards Shaqiri. Helps it on, edge of the centre circle. Fabinho. Salah now takes it over. Alexander-Arnold on this near side. 11 minutes of normal time remain. And Liverpool are still being held here in their pursuit of a top 4 finish. Thiago coming forward for Liverpool, just outside the penalty area. Thiago shoots, and just wide, right-footed, goal kick, 1-1.
Did well just to commit the bodies, get them going backwards. Thiago, he drives at the defence, and they worked it across 35 yards out, and just gets enough of a yard on it. That space just to get the strike away. Liverpool backing off. Johnson is watching it. Hopefully, I think he's more confident than hopeful, isn't he? He knows it's going wide.
As it stands, as far as the top 4 is concerned, and this is the Liverpool game in hand that they have on Leicester City and Chelsea. Leicester would have 66 points, Chelsea would 64, and Liverpool would have 61. Here is Robertson forward now for Liverpool. Firmino bursting through the middle. Robertson holds on to the ball and finds Mane. Mane about 10 yards in from the touchline, level with the penalty area, curls the ball infield. Thiago goes back towards Shaqiri, passes the ball but forces Robertson out wide on that far side, the left. Back now to Firmino, left corner of the penalty area. 10 minutes of normal time remaining. Back with Firmino, still 1-1 live. Here is Shaqiri, patiently passes the ball towards Robertson. Firmino runs forward, Firmino with a cutback, cleared away by Ajayi, and then Furlong helps it further away as far as West Bromwich Albion are concerned, and it'll be a Liverpool throw. You would think, as West Bromwich Albion are going to make another change, and the player who's going to be coming on is Carlon Grant, and the player who's going to be going off is Hal Robson-Kanu. You would think Liverpool, with their quality, would fashion one more opportunity, wouldn't you?
At least, but we've said that this season, and this is the games they've struggled in. You had the stats earlier about playing against the bottom 3, the 3 relegated teams this season, and they've struggled, and it's these 2 blocks of 4 or 4-5-1, whatever, whichever shape it is. This low defensive block, they struggled to create chances, and when they went on that horrible run, particularly at home, that's team after team just came to Anfield and did the same, and West Brom are going to do the same now.
Well, Robson-Kanu has come off the field of play, and it's Carlon Grant who's come on to replace him, and no wonder that there was plenty of backslapping there for Robson-Kanu. He, of course, gave West Bromwich Albion the lead after 15 minutes, as West Brom now with Gallagher. Forward ball. Pereira had just drifted out towards the left. It was cut out by Nathaniel Phillips. 8 minutes of normal time remain, still at 1-1 here at the Hawthorns. Mane leaves it for Thiago. Fabinho running forward now for the red of Liverpool, looking for that run of Robertson. Hits it in first time, cleared away by Ajayi. Shaqiri to Fabinho, waiting, passing the ball back. Reece Williams just outside the centre circle. The encouragement from the Liverpool bench to try and keep the momentum, looking to try and carve out at least one more opportunity in these 8 remaining minutes. Firmino to Shaqiri, miscontrolled. Townsend able to slide to clear. Ball hit then by Livermore, and giving chase for that was Carlon Grant, and then the ball is tidied up by Reece Williams, and back to Alisson. Some tired legs out there now, Rob.
Yeah, tired bodies and tired minds in this West Brom side, but this back line for West Brom have been fantastic for a side that have let in so many goals this season. Just the small movements, the communication between each of them, they've seen this through so far, and sure, they're desperate to carry on.
Alexander-Arnold into the penalty area. Alexander-Arnold off his left foot and over the top. That was a chance for Liverpool with 7 minutes remaining, but it's 1-1 still.
Well, you said there was going to be another chance, and that's a huge chance for Alexander-Arnold, and they've gone narrower and narrower, West Brom. Matt Phillips trying to get back, just overcommits, and Alexander-Arnold can cut back onto his left foot, and everyone just sits and waits and waits. Is he going to hit the target? No, over the bar, by comfortably over the bar.
Wijnaldum's just come on, hasn't he? and it was Reece Williams who's come off. I just thought before that when he dealt with one of he looked very, very tired and looked like he might have just been feeling the back of his hamstrings, taking no chances with that. So Wijnaldum is on, and it means that Fabinho drops back to partner Nathaniel Phillips for the closing stages. 6 minutes of normal time remaining, but there's going to be, I wouldn't be surprised if we had another 5 minutes of added on time, at least, with the amount of substitutions and the stoppages that we've had.
I won't ask you to add it up, Dano.
It's going to be a free kick for West Bromwich Albion. 84 minutes have ticked by at the Hawthorns, and Johnston in no real hurry to take this free kick for West Bromwich Albion. Right-footed. Nathaniel Phillips heads it away, further helped on by Firmino. Mane latches onto it. Liverpool now are on the attack. Ball played diagonal towards Salah. Salah towards Firmino, just outside the penalty area. Firmino turns. Was he fouled there by Furlong? The referee says no. West Bromwich Albion give the ball away. Wijnaldum towards Thiago. Thiago now towards Salah. Salah plays the ball forward, headed away by Shemi Ajayi, helped further away by Liverpool. Nathaniel Phillips. Referee Mike Dean says he was fouled as Pereira had just pulled away from him. The break was on there for West Bromwich Albion. 5 minutes remain.
Pereira was away. They're fortunate there. Wasn't much of a foul if it was one, and the break was on.
Here is Robertson to Shaqiri. Shaqiri looking to turn. Thiago switches play. Mane deliberately stayed out wide, left-hand side. Mane now comes into the penalty area towards Shaqiri, to Robertson outside the area. Robertson's forward ball takes a deflection, behind it goes for a corner kick. Liverpool are knocking at the door.
Last throws, they need this goal, but it's just a small difference in West Brom having already been relegated. They took that free kick earlier and left 2v2 at the back, which with 5 minutes to go against Liverpool, if they still had a chance of staying up, they'd be having 6 at the back, maybe more.
Corner kick for Liverpool, far side the left. It's an outswinger headed away by Bartley. Fabinho guided on by a little flick there by Shaqiri to Robertson, left hand side, plays it back to Shaqiri, in comes the cross, headed away by Ajayi. Fabinho playing the ball forward. Wijnaldum, the substitute, latches onto it, coming forward now. Wijnaldum. Shaqiri midway through the West Bromwich Albion half, passes the ball to Firmino. Thiago's going to shoot. Johnston with a save, moving away towards his left hand side. Corner kick, and Liverpool still putting the pressure on West Brom.
Good save, Sam Johnson. One of only a couple in the game so far, but was set. Gets set very, very well. He's always in position, gets into the dive well. Strong save.
Alexander-Arnold with the corner kick from the right hand side. Nat Phillips was up there from the back. It'll come out to Shaqiri, edge of the area. 3 minutes of normal time remain in a game that Liverpool really do have to win. They're being held by West Bromwich Albion. Shaqiri going the long way around, and then under pressure passing the ball out towards Thiago. And no wonder that Jurgen Klopp reached for his head with his hands on that baseball cap down below. You could see what was happening, and Shaqiri, a little bit disappointingly, as it will be a West Bromwich Albion throw.
If you said however many games it was ago that Liverpool went on this run, ended their horrible run, you said to Liverpool fans, you've got to win the last 3 games against the opposition they've got, West Brom, Burnley and Palace, to get a Champions League spot. They'd snap your hands off, but they're not doing it today.
No, they're not. Here is Nathaniel Phillips carrying the ball a long way, and then he's sending over the cross that is too deep, and the distribution found wanting, and it drifts aimlessly out of play and out towards that far side. And now as the rain has returned, it'll be a goal kick. But West Bromwich Albion, their commitment and their attitude for a team that has only been relegated, can't fault them in that respect, Rob.
They've been brilliant. They've been really, really good to watch, and you know what, the concentration that they've shown, and yes, at times Liverpool have been a little bit more hopeful than cutting edge, shall we say. But you've got to credit West Brom for that. They've forced them into it. They've not given them the chances. They've not just handed over opportunities. So, full credit to them.
And they're still battling away for the ball there midway through the Liverpool half. All eyes on the fourth official, Andrew Madley, because by my watch we're about to enter the last 60 seconds of the regulation 90. Alexander-Arnold scampers forward, right-hand side. Alexander-Arnold with a delivery over the head. Mane will have to go out of the penalty area towards that far side to keep the ball in play. Passes the ball back to Robertson. Liverpool are leaving it late, 1-1. 5 Live in the World Service. Here is Shaqiri. Shaqiri slides it through, blocked by Bartley. Robertson can't get there. Gallagher slides into the challenge. Thiago tries to win it back. He got the ball well. Thiago forward towards Robertson. Robertson with a cross. Salah, good control. Wijnaldum just puts it wide. Another chance for Liverpool. Couldn't hit the target. What a touch by Salah. And Wijnaldum's right-footed effort off target, goal kick, 1-1.
Well, that's a chance. That's the opportunity, and it's the one ball into the box that West Brom have not been able to defend, and Salah does wonderfully well with his touch and his layoff. It's set up perfectly for Wijnaldum just to feel it into the far corner, bend it in. I think if it was the other way round, if it was Wijnaldum to Salah, it would have been a goal.
Jurgen Klopp, I think, is inquiring with the fourth official, Andrew Madley, as to how many minutes will be shown here on this board. But a short time ago I said to you, will they be able to carve out one opportunity? They've carved out 2. You think for those chances, it's not the 5 that we maybe thought, it is 4 minutes that we're now into. But you had that Johnston save from Thiago. In fact, in the space of 6 minutes, Liverpool have created 3 chances. Here is Thiago to Wijnaldum, still 1-1. Robertson cuts the ball back. Wijnaldum shoots, charged down by Gallagher. West Brom are throwing bodies at it, won't go behind, kept in from behind by Maitland-Niles. Instead it'll be a Liverpool throw on that far side. So 4 minutes, a minimum of 4, which we're now into, in the pouring rain, despite the fact that the sun is still shining. Fabinho, Phillips, Shaqiri for Liverpool, diagonal ball along the ground. Firmino harried and hustled by Gallagher. Shaqiri then once more to Thiago on the inside. Fabinho now playing as a central defender to Mane, looking to try and swivel away from his mark. It goes out of play. It'll be a Liverpool corner kick. Still at 1-1, and still we could have late drama here at the Hawthorns. Robertson wants to take it quickly. Far side the left. This will be an out-swinging corner. In it comes now from Robertson. Nat Phillips was up off the head of Bartley. Shaqiri plays it. Wijnaldum pulls the ball back. Thiago strikes it low, not very powerfully. Cleared away by West Bromwich Albion's defence. Picked up by Alexander-Arnold. Delivers the ball deep and headed at that far post, over by Mane and wide. And that'll be a goal kick to West Bromwich Albion. And just over 2 minutes of stoppage time remains.
Trent Alexander has a wonderful delivery, and time after time today he's overhit him. We're saying it's a tight pitch and can seem a lot smaller than other grounds because of the stance, because of the tight-knit nature of it. I just wonder whether today his radar's that off, whether that's had an effect. I don't know, because he's normally so good at it.
6:06 is on its way. We will bring you, or try to bring you at least, live reaction from the Hawthorns into 6:06. 08085 909 693. But Liverpool are 90 seconds away from dropping points here at the Hawthorns. Robertson holding off the challenge of Maitland-Niles on that far side. Firmino manages to get away from Maitland-Niles, sends over the cross, edge of the area. Alexander-Arnold looking towards Salah, but held off well with the strength of Bartley and dived at the feet there by the goalkeeper Johnston.
Sharp, good concentration from Johnson. He's looked assured all game, not had spectacular saves, not had a lot to do, but what he's had to do just looked assured. And you know what, his fans at Leicester and Chelsea will be pleading these West Brom players to see out these last few seconds.
What is it about Sam Allardyce and Jurgen Klopp? He's failed to win any of his last 5 games against Sam Allardyce, whether he's been the manager of Sunderland, Crystal Palace, Everton or West Bromwich Albion. 4 draws and a defeat during that time. This will feel like a defeat, even though that it's not, but the consequences of it will mean that Liverpool have lost ground in the race for the Champions League qualification for next season. We're inside the last 30 seconds of the minimum of 4 minutes that are added on, and still it's 1-1. Thiago, this will be the last chance for Liverpool. Shaqiri to Robertson, forward towards Mane, left hand side, everybody is in and around the penalty area, and Mane's cross goes behind for a corner kick, and Shaqiri urges Alexander-Arnold to hurriedly run across that far side to take it. This will be it then. Alisson is coming up from the back. The 4 minutes have elapsed. It's a corner kick far side the left. Robertson stays back just to keep an eye on any breakaway. Alisson is up from the back, and it comes. Alisson! Oh, would you believe it? The Liverpool goalkeeper in injury time has won it for Liverpool. What a dramatic and remarkable finish here in the Hawthorns. Liverpool close the gap on the top four. Leicester and Chelsea are under real pressure, and a dramatic finale, and Liverpool celebrate. They've snatched it right at the death. 2-1.
Unbelievable. Stood and watched for 90 minutes. Waste chance after chance to Liverpool. Comes up. Here, boys, I'll show you how to do it. Unsurprisingly, he's unmarked. He's unmarked on the penalty spot and just makes a run across the front of the goal. And it's a free header, 6 yards out. Plants it in the far corner, in off the side netting. All the hard work, all the effort that West Brom have done. And there's no more men left. They haven't got any more men to mark anybody. And it's just a free header, and it's a perfect one from the keeper.
Well, that is absolutely staggering. Great header, mind you. Everybody be proud of that. And there is the final, no, not the final whistle. I'll tell you what as well, great thinking by Salah. Jurgen Klopp was desperate for him to get back, and Mo Salah was waiting for Alisson to get back into his penalty area. So Salah was deliberately walking slowly back towards the halfway line until the goal scorer, Alisson, was back in position. Liverpool lead by 2-1. West Bromwich Albion forward, cleared by Robertson, and then the final whistle goes, and Liverpool, in one of the most dramatic finishes to a Premier League game, have kept the 3 points that keep alive their top four aspirations, and Alisson, the goalkeeper, is the hero with a winning goal in injury time. West Bromwich Albion 1, Liverpool 2. Steve.
That is ridiculous, Rob. Ridiculous.
We've seen 3 great finishes today, and that was the best. I mean, he's just a wonderful header, and he's just planted it in the far corner, and the West Brom players are walking off distraught. The Liverpool players, I think they feel like they won the Champions League after that. It's the most incredible of finishes, and just a brilliant way to finish a really good game of football.
They're mobbing him now, Ian.
I'm not surprised. He's getting hugs from everybody. I mean, you've seen many a time when a goalkeeper has gone forward. I think Paul Robinson scored 2 goals during his time for Leeds United. One against Swindon in a League Cup tie, another one from a long punt downfield. But the manner of the header as well, it was a great header.
Bullet-esque, and he just took it was a wonderful cross, and we bemoaning Trent Alexander earlier for his poor quality of balls in, and it was a wonderful ball, and he just used the pace of that. And we're talking about how Robson Kanu sort of clinical finishes for a player out of practice. Well, I doubt Alisson practices that many at very times.
The biggest hug of all, though, Steve, was from Jurgen Klopp to Alisson, and Liverpool, everybody coming off the pitch, he's beaming. The white teeth are there for all to see of Jurgen Klopp. He is absolutely beaming, and you'll struggle to wipe that smile off his face this evening, because Liverpool taken right to the wire by West Bromwich Albion. but incredibly have won it 2-1.
Ever got close to doing that, Rob?
I've actually done it at this end, at the same end, and I got brought down. Yeah, appealed for a penalty, no penalty. But I was always too knackered to make a good run like that to get up in the last minute. But no, it was. If that was Firmino, you'd be saying what a wonderful header. It wasn't. It was Alisson.
And also, you know, like he looks borderline in tears. He's had hugs from absolutely everybody. He's now also getting a handshake from Sammy Lee, of course, who's a legend at Liverpool. But, you know, he's had injuries earlier in the season. If you could wish one moment on a goalkeeper, it's that.
Well, he had a little moment to point to the sky as well, and it's the death of his father not so long ago that I'm sure would have been fresh in his mind after scoring as well. So, yeah, a really special moment for him.
And also, let's not forget, he made a very important save from Robson Kanu after 77 minutes, because if Albion then had gone 2-1 up, there's no way that Liverpool would have come back from that. So in more ways than one, he's kept Liverpool's hopes alive for a top 4 finish. But what a finish. What a finish.
Absolutely incredible. Rob, Ian, thank you very much.